Had to fix this up a little bit. Um, Wonder if I'm gonna change the coloring here. Um, let me play with this a little bit. Mm, no, definitely not that one. No, don't like the yellow. Looks. Uh, mm, no. Mm, no. No. Oh, that's where I could play with the colors. Um, yeah, actually, the white or let's see some. Uh, uh, Forgot how to make it the rainbow. Let me put on my glasses. I know people gonna be watching this on replay, like, what is he doing? Playing with this little lamp that has the little different lights on it. Uh, okay, I don't know what that did. Um, that did. That did. Don't know what that did. Don't know what that did. Mode. Mode. Hmm. Okay. All right. I'm gonna try this one. So anyway, I'm back here. Um, Let me check to make sure I'm live. I mean that my live is publicly visible, since I don't see anyone in the live stream just yet. And if not, I'm gonna cut this cut this quick because I'm not going to talk with myself unless I'm reading something. Oh snap! Oh okay. Hold on. All right. Sure this is publicly visible because I don't see anyone here. Hmm. Uh, Content live. Okay, so it is publicly visible, and my monetization is on, so people should be filtering in. Let me put my hat on for national. Um, this, well, like this. Um, yeah, there we go. So this is gonna be another one of my debate topics. Um, if people filter in, if not, I'm gonna continue it on another day. But I did want to continue my debate topics from the past 3 weeks. on religious discussions. Uh, um, what's up to anyone coming into the chat room? What's up to people who are watching this broadcast on replay in the future, which will be your present as you watch this? um, so, in the past 3 weeks, I've been doing religious debates, not debates, discussions really. Um, but they haven't taken well, which is surprising because again, I always get a bunch of people who proselytize in the chat room. So I thought I could engage those folks proselytizing in the chat room by actually discussing things that might hit home for them. But obviously it hasn't, because I realized that those people who come into the chat room proselytizing are just trolls, or they're mentally ill. So if not both, because frequently many trolls are mentally ill. But yeah, so for the past 2 weeks, I've been having these little religious discussions because, like I said, I was hoping to engage people who always come into the chat room who say, express religious opinions or proselytize, you know, but don't really engage with the conversation at hand. So I thought, why don't I make the conversation something that they might be interested in discussing? So I've been doing that for the past 3 weeks. I fell off on it last week just because, one, I skipped a few days, and also because um, I wanted to take a break from it because it wasn't getting good engagement. But again, hello to everyone coming into the chat room, or we're in the chat room, or gonna, or just watching this on replay. Um, as today is March 25th, once for one, I want to say Happy Maryland Day to other Marylanders. Um, this is Maryland Day, as today was the day that Maryland was set up as a colony and later state. March 25th, 1634, I believe, where the first European settlers, I believe, settled on Saint Clemens. I don't even know where that island is. I think that's off eastern. I think that's off the eastern shore. Um, should be a good place to settle because Eastern Shore has always been more temperate area than the rest of Maryland, so it makes sense they would settle there first. Probably calmer seas than coming into the Chesapeake Bay. Or I could be wrong. It could be on the Chesapeake Bay. My my geography of the outskirts of the Maryland sea line is very minimal. So yeah, so it's Maryland Day because again, the state was first established as a colony today, March 25th, 1634, um, almost 400 years ago. Also, it's National Medal of Honor Day, so shout out to all the Medal of Honor recipients, past and present. Some of these people were true warriors, and it's many of these uh, Medal of uh, Medal of Honor, excuse me, National Medal of Honor recipients. So it's National Medal of Honor Day. So shout out to all those service members who gave it all they got, and and some of them got to live to tell about it. And trust, they didn't do it for a medal. That's for one thing. They didn't do it for a medal, which is why I make fun of not make fun, which is why I look down on people who, this is kind of unrelated, but this is why I kind of look down on people who only do fitness to be externally validated with medals or other people watching them, because you're never going to be physically fit if you need the external validation of others to do what you do. It has to be internal, and it has to be an internal drive to do it. Similar to these National Medal of Honor recipients, they didn't do it with the hopes of getting a Medal of Honor or a Purple Heart or anything like that. They did it because in the heat of the moment, they were bound. They were driven to survive and to look out for their brethren and to perform their duty. But first and foremost, it was probably to in the pursuits of protecting themselves and their brethren. So these guys are heroes. So again, so National Medal of Honor Day today, and happy and Maryland Day today. Now once I've got so since I've gotten that out the way, um, let me see something here. Got some new buttons to play with. Playables. I don't really want to engage in any of these playables since there's no one in the chat room to utilize them with. Uh, Let me give it a few more minutes, and if people aren't clocking in, then I'm going to clock out. Because again, there's really no reason to um, stay in a chat room to have a discussion with myself. Like it's different if I'm like just sometimes doing a live stream and I don't mind doing a soliloquy, but this isn't that. It's meant to be a discussion, which goes into why I was saying for the past 2 weeks, I'm probably going to pivot from live streaming to long form content just because it would keep me from not being dependent on people actively engaging, which I don't mind. I like the active engagement, which is why I've been doing the live streams. But if people aren't going to do so, since there's like a million other streams to compete with, then we'll see. But I did want to at least give it that old college try. I don't know who's actively here. See Amber Figueroa, hello. Someone named RM4D4, excuse me, DV4MU7, hello. Other than that, can't see who's active. There's always like a little time discrepancy between what I see active in the chat room and who's and people who are actually in the chat room in real time. So they can always be more or less in real time than I'm actually seeing because there's going to be like a time, there's going to be like a tiny time gap. So sometimes I can be engaging in conversation with someone who's already left, or I'm thinking no one's here, and then there's people in here like, why isn't he responding? And it's like because there's a little time lag. So, but again, I can take up this discussion another time. If I can't, you know, reach any folks in the chat room because I'm not going to just sit here and pull teeth for like a half an hour until someone comes through. Wouldn't make sense. You see, I got some, wait, the light here. But yeah, man, I was hoping to get more engagement here. You know, I, I don't think the religious discussions have gone well in the past 3 weeks. That's why I was actually concluding it this week with this one and another one and another one. But it was just gonna be these two. But I might have to extend it if I can't even get this one through. Pause. So we'll see. But yeah, it's been already 16 minutes in, not seeing any engagement. So that's cool. Again, I will once I upgrade my my camera and other tech, I'm probably gonna be pivoting to long form videos and reducing the streaming because it's like I'm pulling teeth here. And then when the people do come in, it's usually just trolls and people from overseas that have no knowledge based on what I'm even attempting to discuss or whatever. So you know, plus it's getting late, so I can do better with my time. So I'll give it a few more seconds. We'll see what happens. Maybe the magic will happen. Nah, but but no, to be honest, it has happened before where I was ready to like end the stream, and all of a sudden I get a bunch of people pouring. I'm like, what's going on here? Then also I wonder if the algorithm is already filtering a lot of folks out, which could also be happening. Let me see something. So yeah, my cloud bot is active. Okay, so that's not the issue. So yeah. Uh, all right, so yeah. Looks like it's not happening. So that's cool. I'm gonna pause it here and take this up another time. And I'm gonna get myself ready for bed while I watch a little bit more of this fabulous YouTube. Shout out to Mark Zuckerberg's bitch ass. He got found liable in court for making Meta addictive. They also found YouTube addictive as well, but I actually like YouTube, so fuck Zuckerberg and everything he represents. I hope only the worst happens to him. I hope Facebook finally fails. Zuckerberg's bitch ass. I wish all the worst for him and to him and his whole company. So yeah. Anyway, that's where I'm gonna leave it. Peace out.